That was a weird one in terms of 40-40, then the flagrant, and then what did you see from the flagrant going from that point forward? Did you guys lose a little something? Or
Yeah, well, we lost another foul. What was that, his fourth? Fourth? Yeah, we lost you can't play him at that point. I mean, you can't play him for a while at that point. So that was a tough blow. It was tied up, and then they got the 2 free throws and the ball back. We had the ball and got fouled. That was a tough sequence. Yeah, that was a tough sequence.
It got up, I think, 21, but you guys were able to bring it back. Too little, too late, maybe, but the fight in your guys has been something all year that you've talked about.
Loved it. Yeah, I loved our guys. I love the way we finished the game. We made some mistakes. We turned it over too much, but I just loved how our guys fought and finished out the game. And if there was maybe a missed free throw or two, then it's like it's a 5 or 6 point game, and you're talking about you got a real chance. But I love to see that. And we had a lot of young guys in there at the time as well.
Is it extra encouraging because of that? Because you did put Dwayne and Luther out there and gave the seniors a rest? Yeah,
I just thought it was they were a little fatigued anyway, but I thought our young kids had a really good approach at that point. And they were playing some young kids too. Yeah. So they came back with some of their older guys there when it got a little bit close. But I was, like I said, by and large, I've been pleased with our guys' fight all year, with the exception of the Purdue game and some other moments. Been really pleased with that. So.
Sorry if you're already asked this, but was Lawyer someone you guys even had on your scouting report?
Oh yeah, we had him on our scouting report. Sure, yeah, we did. Now, obviously, he's not done that a whole lot, but we had him on our scouting report. His threes gave him life. His threes really gave him life when they were when it was a one possession game. But that's kind of what good teams do. You concentrate on the player of the year. And we had this a little bit last year. Your focus so much is on the player of the year. Other guys, perform well in the midst of that, and give him credit.
When you talk about the younger guys, just getting 2 days here.
Yeah.
How valuable is that for them just to get in a tournament vibe?
Well, I think it's really important. I think it's really important for our young guys to be a part of this tournament experience, to understand what playing against elite competition in a tournament setting is about. Like I think Michigan State's they're in my 2 years I think they're the best Big Ten team that we've competed against. Now it doesn't mean they're going to run, but I think top to bottom they're as complete as any team. So for our guys to get that kind of experience is really good. It's really good.
I'm sorry if you've already been asked this, but how do you feel about your chances? You're going to have to sit here these next 2 days.
Good.
About the body working.
Yeah, no good. I feel good about it. Yeah. Good.
Michigan State physicality.
Feel good. I don't. It's not like I'm. I mean, who knows what can happen, but I feel like our body of work has positioned us very, very well. So,
not that your guys don't know Michigan State, the physical ISO team, but what do you have to remind them of what they're in for, especially against this team?
Yeah, oh yeah, and I think their depth on the interior was a factor for us. But absolutely, you do. I just think it's the older bodies against this team are really important. Older bodies and older minds, I think when you're playing Michigan State's really important, if that makes sense, because you can't attack them with recklessness. There has to be a real understanding of how you're attacking them. So you really need older bodies and older minds in most situations in order to compete against, I think, this Michigan State team, which is again better than last year's. I said that mid-year. I thought they were clearly a better team than last year's.
Chris, did you say you think that they're the best team you guys have played in 2 years ago?
Best league team.
The best league team. So
best league team.
You've played them 3 times, and for the majority of those minutes, it's been very even.
Mm-hmm.
I know you've had trouble closing them out, and today was a little bit different, but just that fact that your roster's in flux, you're still building, but yet you're toe-to-toe a lot with a team that's this good. Does that take something from that?
There's some encouragement for sure in that. I also think in some ways we match up better against them maybe than some other teams. But yeah, we've really competed against them, and obviously at our place, it got away in the last 5 minutes. At their place, it was such an odd second half with struggling to score, and they had a lot to do with that. But yeah, I think we can take some encouragement. I just think how complete they are and sound they are, top to bottom. And obviously they have some outstanding, an incredible point guard and some outstanding players, but they're so sound. That's why, I mean, last year's team had more kind of top-end talent for them, but I think this year's team is much more complete.
Chris, along those lines, when you have some time probably in the next 48 hours to think about this, but when you look at the season as a whole now, I think most people would consider a success. I wonder how you look at it and what you guys have accomplished in this year.
Well, I feel good. I want to finish it the right way, so I would probably reserve, but you know, certainly you always look back as a coach and you say, man, could we have just done that, or, you know, just done this, or, you know, could we have finished that off against Wisconsin? You know, could we have, you know, could I have run something? All that stuff.
Sure.
But yeah, I feel very good about this group. We're very excited about what's coming next for the finish of this team, and you know, we'll be ready for that. But yeah, I do feel positive.
You mentioned older players in this type of game, back-to-back good performances from Keyshawn, especially offensively. To get that for a second straight day, what does that kind of show you about him here late in the year?
I thought he was really good again. Foul trouble killed us with that. You know, it just really hurt us with him and Caleb. It wasn't just Caleb, right? It was really our perimeter that right now is playing with the most confidence. So that stymied him a little bit, but feel great about where he's playing. Really do.
When it was 40-40 and Caleb gets the flagrant, and then the game kind of seemed to change from that point. How did you see that change and flip the momentum?
It's a little deflating, but we got to be tougher-minded than that. But I think it was a little bit deflating because we had a foul and the ball, and then they have 2 shots and the ball. But listen, that stuff happens, and I don't think it wasn't intentional at all by Caleb. The kid went right under. He was about to make a post move, and he just.
That's his move. Yeah,
that's his move. And I thought it was a really. I'm not saying it wasn't the right call. I just thought it was a really unlucky situation for him.
How do you assess the first 5 minutes defensively that you guys played? It looked pretty good. And how hard is that to sustain with this team over?
It's hard. Yeah, it's hard because I think our lack of depth in some areas. But I thought we were playing really hard. I thought we came out with the right mindset. I thought we were competing offensively and defensively. Our turnovers were too much offensively, but they made shots against us that were fairly challenged. And as a coach, you hope that water will find this level at some point. But you know, you just got to weather. That's a good team. That's a really good team we played.
What kind of similarities have you seen from the 3 games you guys have played against?
What kind of what?
Similarities have you seen from your team's performance out of Michigan State in the 3 times you guys have played against?
It's just really physical. It's just a really physical game, and I think, you know, today we were going to really try to attack them on the inside. They knew that. We couldn't get Caleb enough minutes because of foul issues, but just the overall physicality. It's who they are, and it's who we are in a lot of ways.
Chris, you guys, it looks like you guys are fairly safe, like you said, to get in. It's possible you could go to Dayton. Do you approach the next 2 days any differently, knowing that you could have a quick turnaround like that and have to jump right into it on Monday?
Yeah, good question. I don't know that we'll put some thought into that as a staff. You know, we'll try to kind of monitor some of that. I don't know how much you really know for sure, but we'll try to monitor it a little bit and see kind of what happens with some of these other leagues and league tournaments. And if it looks like it could, we might adapt and change. But these guys need a day off right now, tomorrow, and you know that's important for them. So,
what will the next 2 days be like for you? I'm trying to think how many times you've maybe been in this situation where you feel good about being in, but it's not for sure. I just wonder what it'll be like for you to stare at the clock for 48 hours or so.
Yeah, like I said, I feel confident, but I think you're always, you know, you're excited, for one, excited and anxious for Sunday and for what that show is going to be, I would say. But like I said, I feel good about our body of work. So.
What you guys watch as a team Sunday, or do you know?
I haven't. We just lost, so I haven't. I'm not being sarcastic, but I haven't thought that far ahead. So we may, but I haven't thought that far ahead.
Do you like the fact that late when you guys were making that run, you had a lot of youth out there? You were
Yeah.
talking about that a little bit earlier, but just.
I was just telling, I loved how we finished the game. I just thought we finished it. It said a lot about us, and a bounce or two there. Maybe it's a different position, but it was nice to see Izzo have to put his older guys in.
Do you feel like that can create momentum heading into postseason play, a run like that?
Yeah, I think we have the last couple games, kind of dating back to Wisconsin. I think that's, the second half against Wisconsin. I think we've done that, and like I said, we've competed in nearly every game this year, with the exception of the one we all know about.
Chris, you said there's sort of an assumption that freshmen will improve.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Where, as a group, if you had to pick one thing where these guys really need to kind of improve, where would it be?
I think,
decision-making?
Yes.
Whatever.
Decision-making, strength, understanding what wins and loses at this level. I think those are things that need to improve, but there's also some physical improvements that need to be made with this group in terms of just physical strength and those kind of things. But I'm excited because they're a great group.
That's natural. Most
Yes.
freshmen, they have
Yeah,
to
absolutely.
improve physically.
They have to improve physically and their understanding of how to play. We've leaned on those guys a lot. Like, you pull some of our freshmen out, we're not sitting at 19 wins, but we got to get them better. We got to finish the season well and then have a great off season.
Thanks,
Okay,
guys.
thanks guys. Safe travels.